Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and making some really good trades, and let's dive right into the analysis here. I have lots to unpack as this is going to be probably like the weekly recap too. We're going to be looking to what's going to be happening next week with the CPI release. I believe that's going to be coming out on Tuesday, so March 12th, so don't miss that. That's going to be a very important and volatile day. Expectations are for inflation to remain flat year over year, so 3.1%. But again, we are in a very, very interesting time. We are entering the danger area that I have outlined here on the SPY. The IWM attempts to push higher and higher, but again, a little bit of a sell-off today when the non-farm payrolls came out. Sorry, my English. We actually had a significant pump towards the upside, and then a substantial reversal that came right afterwards. So if you guys were trading the intraday, this was a very, very choppy day, all over the place, up and down and back up and down again. So it was not easy to trade this, but let's get over and we'll take a look at Market Cipher. The daily time frame was showing us a significant bullish upside on the daily time frame, although this may shift over once we open another daily candle next week. 4-hour time frame, red dot. So this flipped significantly towards the bearish side, but again, we still have a lot of green money flow. People may continue to buy the dip as per usual. Daily time frame, we're back in green money flow. Now, something that's very interesting today that happened is that the semiconductors took a pretty big hit, down over 4% in a single day. We actually gapped higher, pushed higher, and then had a massive sell-off. NVDA as well potentially may have had its short-term top here, but again, I don't want to jinx anything. We pushed higher and higher in a fifth wave. We did not make a higher high on the RSI. So to me, this third wave looks like it finished. This was just a extended fifth wave. Now we may start the ABC retrace towards the downside, but it could be very shallow. We may as well just start to fill this gap here, and then it could very well end, and we may not go lower than this. Okay, so just keep that in mind when you're making your trades, and I can actually give you guys a more accurate target here by just pulling the retrace from this entire move that we've gotten to find out where we could possibly get a retrace to. So I would set it between this level right here, between the 618 and the 382. So anywhere between this area would be a potential buy zone for the wave 4, and then you should get another pop towards the upside and get more upside, and the semiconductors, and then probably a final blow off top to this 1,400 area. 1,300 area. So again, this would mean the markets would have more upside. But could it truncate and end early? Yes, it can. Now, actually, before I get into individual names, I want to talk about what happened in the dollar and in yields, because when we take a look at the dollar here, if you guys watch yesterday's video, I outlined this area as a potential bottom or like a buy area, buy zone for the dollar. What happened today? We entered it and we reversed out of it, and a significant reversal, which did put pressure on equities. I know the dollar was down a lot and equities loved it. The dollar was down about 0.43%, and then a big reversal out of it, and now we're only down 0.04%, and that probably put a lot of pressure on equities to start to reverse back down. The 20-year yield actually perked up a little bit quite nicely today, but I want to see if this turns into a wave 2, right? And then a big drop into wave 3, which would be bullish for the markets, or if this is just going to end up being, a whole new cycle higher, which I have outlined in the dollar here. So the dollar and the yields should most likely follow each other. Now, if the dollar is going to play out this move here, and this was just a 3-wave move, then this is going to be extremely bearish for the markets. This is going to cause equities to struggle substantially in the coming months, but we will see once we get there. We will see. I cannot tell you what's going to happen, but what the charts are showing us, we need to follow, and we need to respect the moves that they're going to do. Right? So I outlined this area as a buy. If we bounce out of it and continue higher and take out the B wave, and we just keep pushing higher and higher and higher, then this was just a wave 2, right, of a 5-wave move higher. And then this, we're going to see more downside in the markets. All right. The gold market has potentially hit maybe a little bit of a resistance area here, although short term, we ran into it. It's just an upsloping trend line. Again, the gold, I am very bullish on gold. I am so happy gold is breaking out towards the upside. But it is, I cannot lie what the charts say, that it is overbought on the daily time frame right now. When we get on the weekly, it's not that overbought just yet. But I think we may need some consolidation or just a slight pullback for gold. And I can do Elliott Wave for you guys over the weekend. And by the way, I won't be able to do the Discord recap, the live recap tonight, because I am going away for the weekend. So we're going to get some time off, and hopefully you guys figure things out. But I think it should be a pretty quiet weekend. I don't think anything will happen that's too crazy. All right, let me get over finally to Wave Edge, and we'll take a look. Again, more significant selling happening today on the SPY. Nothing on the triple Qs, however, and the Dow Jones, nothing there either as well. And the IWM, so the IWM, you're not seeing anything on the daily, but when we head over to the larger time frames, like the 2-day, we are seeing significant selling here. Same thing for the 3-day. Now, I have a bullish case for the IWM, which would mean that we should push higher and could push higher in a 5-wave move to this 230, 240 area. But could this truncate and end earlier? Yes, it very well could, right? So it's still possible that we truncate here, and this we're just going to start collapsing. But this would mean like much higher CPI, and then everything starts to roll over. You know, the Fed's not going to cut rates anymore. You know, we're actually going to raise one more time, and then the market's going to go bananas if that happens. So it's anything can happen. I'm just seeing lots of selling here on the 2-day and 3-day. Nothing on the 4-day and nothing on the weekly, right? But we did get a red cross here. So it's important to pay attention to these signals, and if they're going to confirm a big move towards the downside, you got to listen to the bigger signals. So on actually the monthly, you have a red cross on the IWM, and nothing on the SPY and the Dow Jones. Oh, actually the Dow Jones, you have a red cross, but you haven't confirmed yet. It can't disappear. You got 19 days to go. All right, let me get over to the individual names now. So ROKU, we'll start off with ROKU, because ROKU actually had a nice little pop today, perking up 2.27%. Not sure what the news was, but again, I am looking to actually I'm not looking to. I am in a long position, but I'm looking to exit if we get out of this red zone. I'll probably take some profits on that trade, because that's going to be a nice little 15% move, and I like to take profits on my short-term positions. And overall, this is a good look for ROKU. We want to see this impulse out very quickly, and if it does, then you could start a whole new cycle higher, but we'll see how it ends. Let me take a look at Apple. Apple was actually getting a nice little bounce today. It was up about 2.5%, retraced back down to the 1% level. So to me, this shows me that Apple is starting to find buyers at these levels. Again, it's extremely oversold on the daily, but could this have been just a wave for retrace? Yes, it could have. It very well could have. So right now, what we see in the C leg here is just a 5-wave move, right? And this could have been your 4, and you're going to go for one more low in a 5th wave, which to me would just be another buying opportunity. I think we're going to be, you have a chance of loading up on positions here for Apple. Although if you take out this pivot, right, I'm not sure I would like the trade anymore. I think then you're going to go for this larger C leg and extend lower to this area. So that's what I see for Apple right now. But if you just start to impulse out right away, then this cycle should be done, and this should mean that the markets is gonna go higher. Okay. All right. So we talked about the DXY. We talked about yields. Let me cover some more names here. So we covered NVDA. Let me just check up on a few other semiconductors here. How's SMCI holding up? SMCI is actually holding up pretty well, all things considered, given how parabolic it's been and how parabolic it still is. it is continuing to push higher here. But you're doing some bearish divergence, which I don't like too much. And to me, this move is invalidated. So I mean, in terms of the short-term counts, could it just be like an extended B wave? I guess you can make the case that it could be, but I wouldn't look. Let me just see how much higher it could go. To me, if you're gonna do a larger ABC like this, and you're saying that the fourth wave is not in that case, then I probably look for like the 618 and then come back down to here, and then your B wave should be finished. But we'll see once we get there. You know, this is not an easy trade. This chart is extremely it's very volatile, kind of all over the place. AVGO had earnings, so yeah, a big hit in the semiconductor space. Wow, BBAI had earnings, massive gap down today on some bad news. Looks like. What happened? Oh my goodness. Sector update. Tech. I mean, I'll probably read that later, but wow, that was a very big move in BBAI. So yeah, let's cover some of the crypto and Bitcoin miners, because Bitcoin has, I believe, made another all-time high today. We hit 70,000, if I'm not mistaken, or pretty darn close to it. 69,990. We could call it 70K. But right now, when you look at the Bitcoin miners, we had a nice, all-time high, but all we got out of it was this small little pop in Mara, right? So, is this really, the move that everyone's looking for? Like, is this what you're really getting out of your miners? Like, is this a real bull market? That's what everyone's asking themselves. To me, I think what you need is one more retrace and a longer period of consolidation before and after the halving, and then you'll really have a big chance of taking off in crypto. And then these miners may play out. But this is why I have Mara labeled like this, as an accumulation zone, and you just wait for the move to come, and then you'll go much higher. Okay. Okay. Let me cover a few more things. Let me just cover maybe natural gas and oil. So nat gas. Where's my natural gas? Nat gas. So nat gas actually had a nice little pop today, but could just be continuing this 5-wave move towards the downside. I don't know why I have this one so large. Let me just see what time frame am I on. Oh, okay, there we go. Sorry, there we go. I had it zoomed out. Okay, so yeah, we're in the larger fifth wave. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4 could have already finished now, and now you're starting another 5-wave move towards the downside, which is extremely bearish for natural gas, unfortunately. But hopefully, once we get down to these areas, it'll bottom out, it'll be done, and then it'll be an amazing longing opportunity for the long term. But until then, this is a very tough commodity to trade towards the long side. Okay, all right, that's it for today. I think I've covered most things. I don't really have much to add. Again, the TLT and yields, just the most important to follow right now. I said that it's possible that this could be your wave 2 in an extended C leg for a larger move towards the downside, which means yields are going to reverse back up tremendously. This could mean bad CPI coming next week, and if that happens, markets are not going to like that. Okay? And then we have the possibility that we never really hit my buy area on TLT, which was down here. And I think we might need to go down here. I think we might need to do that. Okay, so that's just my 2 cents on what's going on right now in the bond market, the yields. So hopefully everything plays out. If it doesn't, then that's why we have more bullish scenarios outlined here with a possible truncation. And yeah. All right. If you guys enjoyed the video, guys, leave a like and subscribe. Peace.